Hello friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley and today we are going to be doing a Siser project today. I'm going to show you how we take our markers, pens, and it doesn't matter what you're going to use. I'm going to show you how to take your markers and create non-bubble letters. If you know anything about any craft cutting machine, it's that if you use a pen 9 times out of 10 or like 9.9 times out of 10, you are left with bubble letters that you have to hand fill in. I'm going to show you how we don't have to do that. These are all done by the machine. This one, I don't know what happened to this Y. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to show you how to get fully filled in letters using only our markers and never having to use our hands to do it because that is time consuming. And if there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that I'm not patient. I need things to like hurry up and go quick. So I'm going to have the machine fill in all my letters. Today, I'm going to be using my Siser sublimation markers. And then my particular project that I'm doing is going to end up looking like a notebook paper. It's for my son's teacher. It's going to say like Mrs. Smith's things on it. And I have a canvas zip bag. That's what these are listed on Artistry if you're looking to buy these. But I would just say that they're makeup bags. They're like really small, you know, large enough to put like a bathroom pass or keys or, you know, any chapstick, anything that she needs to carry around with school. These are large enough for that. Okay. Oh, also, I totally forgot to tell you. So at the beginning of the year, I had posted a video and it was filling in the letters using our Cricuts. And first and foremost, I did get a comment on there saying, oh my goodness, can you please do this for the Siser? Absolutely. But secondly, you are going to notice if you watch that video that it actually was really time consuming to do it over on the Cricuts. I'm going to show you that it's like super easy. Siser, whoever is at Siser running the program on the back end of this has really streamlined it for us. So it's not that hard for the users to do. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Okie dokie, the very first thing you want to do is open up a blank window in Siser Leonardo. This is what the program looks like. You want to go down to the design button. I did want to note here that even if you don't have a Siser craft cutting machine, you can still use their program. You can download it, play with it. You can use it and then export them into any other craft cutting machines, or you can use it and then use it on your Siser craft cutting machines. Okay. The very, very first thing you want to do is take this square. We're going to go down here to square and we're going to click this square right here. And then we're just going to drag and drop one into our canvas. This like box that's right here, that's our canvas. Okay, the very next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this up in the corner and I'm going to drag this over to the left, or I'm going to drag this over to the right. I swear I know my directions. And then I am going to come down here into the lock and I'm going to unlock this and we are going to make the height of our rectangle 0.01 and then press enter. It is going to look teeny tiny. That is okay. You'll remember that in our Cricut video, we had to copy paste to fill up our screen. Instead, over here in the Siser program, what we're going to do is we're going to go down here to the scale button and then we're going to go all the way over till we see tile array. Now, when you get to this screen, the gap that you want to do is 0.004 inches. So both of these have to be 0.004. Now, in the Siser program, you only can do 50 copies. However, I have talked to Pat over from Siser and I had said, is there any possible way that we could do like way more copies than 50? And he said, maybe. So if you're watching this and we're in like an extended period of time, if you can go up to more than 50, because what we're essentially trying to do is fill up our full 12 by 12 square, then keep going up until this right here reaches close to the 12 inches. Because I can only do 50, I'm gonna press apply. So you're gonna have all of these. We're gonna drag this up to the corner. Now to make this easy for us, because those rectangles are very small, I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna press group. We're gonna ungroup that here in a second, but just so they're easier to grab. Then what you want to do is filling up our page. So we have that 50. We're going to Command C, Command V, copy and paste. It'll look like nothing happened outside of the fact that your lines just got thicker. We're going to drag it down. Don't worry too much about the spacing at this point because we're going to fix that. But we're going to select both of those, copy and paste, and drag it down. Now you're gonna wanna do this for your entire screen. Now what you wanna do is select everything. We're gonna right click and press ungroup. So if we click out of that, you're gonna be able to like individually select all those lines. Okay, selecting everything, we are gonna come up here into arrange. We are gonna align these to the center so all of our square or rectangles line up. We're going to go back up to arrange. We are going to go to align objects and we are going to distribute them vertically. So it looks like things are very weirdly placed. That's just an optical illusion. If we take this magnifying glass and we zoom in on just a corner, you can see that all of our lines are really evenly spaced. That's exactly what you wanted. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is selecting all your rectangles. We're going to come up here into pass and then weld. So now you only have this thing that's only welded. Okay, at this point, what I would suggest doing is saving this file, because for next time or in the future when you want to do another writing fill project, all you have to do is open up this file and it'll be ready to go for you, so you don't have to recreate this file. So go ahead and save this file. Okay, let's pretend like we are 6 months later and I said, you know what? I want to make a canvas bag for my kids teacher and I need to fill in some letters because I want to use my sublimation markers for this. And I want to use HTV, want to use sublimation. The next thing you want to do is you want to come up here into text and insert a text box. I personally am going to do a straight line. If you wanted to put it on a curve, you could, but I am not going to do that. I am just going to do a straight line. I'm going to do my son's teacher. Is this grammatically correct? I hope it is. I have not taken an English class since college, so hopefully this is grammatically correct. If not, hopefully she gives me some grace because it has been a long time. Okay, so this is my son's teacher and I'm going to put Mrs. Watts' things on there. Now I'm going to choose a thick font because this is the whole point of the project, is to have a really thick font. So let me just choose one. Now I can tell you the hardest part of any project is choosing a font. Okay, I'm gonna use the marker felt font. I feel like that just gives the look because I am gonna create a notebook looking canvas zip bag. So I'm thinking the marker felt, plus it's pretty thick. Now, if you didn't want to choose a thick font, you definitely didn't have to. I'm just showing you that even the thickest fonts will still fill in. But if you're like semi-thick, like this one right here, that's not very thick, it will all be the same. The steps are all the same. I'm just showing you that even the thickest fonts can still fill in and not look like bubble letters. Okay, when I have that done, I like the look of what this looks like. I'm gonna auto weld this because I'm only going to do black for this project. Because I'm gonna have like blue and red lines, I'm gonna put black on top and I think that's gonna be cute. Now, if you wanted to have letters that were like red, yellow, orange, blue, and purple, and it's all different lines, what you would want to do is uncheck this right here and not weld all of your letters together. But because I'm only doing one color, I'm just gonna weld them together. I'm gonna press apply. It's gonna be black when you start. Let's just drag this over here. I'm gonna change it over just to a different color for right now, just so we can see what we're doing. Now, remember what I said before, you do not want to change the lines size. We've sized the lines exactly the way we want. What you want to do at this point is take your name, whatever it is that you're doing, and you want to size your lettering to whatever it is that you're trying to write. Okay, so for my canvas zip bag, it is about like 7 inches long, and I think that a 5-inch name will look really cute. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna resize this. I'm gonna lock this right here, and I'm gonna change this over to 5 inches. And press return. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is taking the name, I'm gonna come up here and just place it on top of my lines. Remember at this point, you don't wanna resize your lines, and after we go to the next step, you then do not want to resize the name that we are about ready to slice together. So that being said, if you do mess up at some point in time, you'll have to go undo, undo, undo until you get back to what this looks like, just because you can't resize things after we slice it. Just remember. Okay, so we're gonna select both things, the lines and the lettering that we've chosen. And I'm going to come up here into pass, and I'm going to go slice intersect. It's going to look like this. All you want to do now is take your lines, and we are going to slide this over. So this is what our name is going to look like, and this is what our lines look like. Okay, just to give you an idea, if you wanted to do multiple colors, what you would do for that. So let's go over here into text box, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to press the no auto weld and press apply. Okay, this is going to be black again. However, I'm going to just change the color over. Let's do red. And remember what I said, we want to have different colors like this. Right now it's all one color. What you do is you right click, press pass and ungroup pass. Click out of that, and then you'll be able to manually click all of your letters. See how I'm able to just click the W-A-T? Okay, then what you're going to do is slide back your lines. You're going to select the lines, shift on your keyboard and that M, and we are going to come up here into pass and then slice intersect. Then you're going to click that R, shift on your keyboard, the lines, slice intersect. You're going to do the same thing with all the letters that you've chosen. Okay, let's just say I wanted to stop at Mrs. Watts. I'm now going to delete my lines. So this right here, we'll just move it to the side. Then what you want to do is change the colors. So let's say I wanted this to be red again. So I'm going to change this over to red. I'm going to do the R. Let's just do a rainbow. I love rainbows, so let's just do a rainbow. So red, orange. The S is going to get a yellow, period. We'll get a green. Okay, so this is the two ways you could do it. First way is just doing one single color, which is the black, and then you have this right here. That is a rainbow. I obviously didn't do this bottom one. Let's just delete it because I'm not even going to use this rainbow one. I just want to show you the process of how you would do it two ways. Okay, if you chose to do the rainbow one, what you would do is select everything, right click and press group. You want to make sure that when you're moving this around that things aren't going to get, moved astray. Now I am just going to go ahead and delete this right here. Okay. Don't be a bonehead like Ashley Falco. There you have these are technically supposed to be backwards, y'all, but like they're not. And I use sublimation markers and they are useless things to me. I always forget to mirror my sublimation projects. Why? I have no idea, but like I just always forget. So don't be a bonehead like me and let's mirror this. Now you can do this over in the cut screen. I try and do with good practice, especially when using like HTV, is I like to mirror things before I even go forward. So if you're using sublimation markers, remember to mirror, which is exactly what I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do is selecting both of these, because both of these are going to be sublimation projects. And I'm going to go down to scale and I'm going to mirror this horizontally. So now everything is going to look backwards and that is perfect. At this point, again, even when I'm working with HTV, I always like to mirror my projects on the canvas because for whatever reason, I go into the cutting feature and like the buttons mean nothing to me. I don't even press them. I don't even look at them. I don't know. It just like my brain just blocks it out. So I always like to mirror things here and remember them here. Okay, let me revert back here. I'm going to show you the rainbow and how that looks if you chose to do multiple colors. So here is what the rainbow is. Now, in the Siser program, if your objects are not on your canvas, the canvas right here is the 12 by 12 box right here. If it's not on there, it's not going to go in the cut screen. So I took my one that I am going to be using and I just moved it outside of my box. The one that I am going to be using, or hypothetically just to show you, is this one right here. So what I am going to do now, let's say I'm ready to use my markers, is I'm going to come up here into send. I want all artwork that fits on the page, which is exactly what is on my page. Now what I'm going to do is keep relative position of each layer. And then I'm going to press send. Okay, it's going to come down here in the origin. The origin, if you are a Cricut user, everything goes into the top left. That is technically Cricut's origin. The Siser, their origin is in the bottom left. Looks really weird because we have this, right? It looks very funky. It's all separated between colors, right? Not in order, but once you have to kind of trust the process, because just like this, when I first did this project, it was all split up in separate canvases. So what you would do is like you would say the W, you would insert the blue into your Siser machine, and then you would press send to cutter. Then you would do when you're done doing that, without ejecting or touching the machine, I'll go into it here in a minute when we go and do the black, but without ejecting or touching the machine at all, when the blue was done, you would click on the green. Then you would insert that green marker, press send to cutter. When that's done, you would just take the green marker out, insert the purple, press send to cutter. When that's done, you would take the purple marker out, you would put the red marker in, press send to cutter. So that is what you would do. You don't touch any button on your Siser. You don't move the head. You don't do anything. You're just changing your markers over one at a time. So I don't want this because I wanted it all black. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to exit out of that. Now I'm going to drag this one over here. Now what I want to do is press send to cutter. Same thing, all artwork on page. I don't need to have this either checked or unchecked, so I only have one color, and I want to keep relative position of each layer. And then I press send. Now again, you're going to see that because I'm only using one color, everything went into the bottom left, but it's all spaced exactly what we want. One thing I did forget to tell you when we were talking about the multiple colors is when you are using the pens, you want to come up here to blade tool. You're going to click that and we are going to go to pen tool. And that's the only thing that you have to change. Now, if you did not mirror your project, you can do this right here and click this and see how it now wants to mirror. You could do that if you didn't do it over in the design canvas. So just remember that. Okay, over at the machine, the very first thing you want to do is see how we already have the blade inserted into our Juliet. What you want to do is unhook your blade. We are going to take this out because we're using only the markers today. You do not need this. Then what you want to do is what came with your Siser is this thing right here. You're going to put that in here and then you're going to just tighten this up a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is turn my Siser on. And on the back of both the machines, if you're using, you can use the pen machine, the pen tool with your Romeo if you also had one. There is going to be this lever right here. You're not going to be able to see it. You just want to push that down. And then you want to take your mat. This is a used mat that I have here. You want to put your mat inside your machine. I always like to take my mat and line it up with the very base of my machine. And now what I'm going to do is flip my lever up. Then what I'm going to do is take my head and I'm going to put it in the corner of my material. So let's just drag this up and we're going to move this over. You're going to notice that right here is going to be in essentially the corner of my material. Then what you want to do is taking your markers. I'm going to do a fine tipped sublimation marker just so I can show you that even using the fine tip markers, you're still going to be able to not have bubble letters. So I have this. I'm going to take this off. Now, making sure that this is loose, you're going to stick your marker inside this thing. Okay, when it's inserted into your adapter, then what you want to do is tighten the tool. So now this doesn't move. Essentially what this like little bracket does is it locks your marker in place so it can't come out. Because we're not using the pen at all, we don't have to change any of the cut settings or anything like that. Now all we want to do is go back over to the computer. Okay, and then at the computer, it's very simple. All we need to do is make sure that we're connected to our computer. I'm using my Juliet via Wi-Fi, so I'm connected via Wi-Fi. Then all you want to do is press send to cutter and press yes. Okay, so the bumper part about this is, although we can clearly see that it worked, right? Let me back this out, is that my marker is going dead. You can totally tell that it is going dead. So all this right here, I'm just going to use a new marker and hand fill in what my marker is dead on. So like you can tell it's not filled in here, but that's due to the marker, not the machine. I'll roll this off my mat. Okay, this is obviously going to look backwards, right? Because we have to press it onto our blank. You can kind of see it through the light right there. What I am going to do is put this right here. Now I am going to take just a marker. And I am going to put, now technically you're not supposed to put sublimation ink right on top of your blanks. However, I am going to break the rules a little bit. I like that it gets fuzzy, like it turns out being fuzzy. So I'm just going to put my marker on my blank like that. And I am obviously not measuring anything. I am just kind of eyeballing it. Clearly I did not do the lines correctly, but that's okay. Okay, we are going to take our lettering that we did. I'm just going to put this on the blank. Okay, then all you want to do is put this. This is heat resistant tape. You're going to put that onto your blank just so you can hold this in place, because you don't want this to like come flying around. I only do 2 pieces. Okay, then what you want to do is heat up your heat press. And let's see, I'm gonna have to go to their website in order to find out the heat and time for this. Then let's go over to the heat press. Okay, so at the heat press, you wanna turn on your heat press. We're gonna turn this on to 400 degrees for 15 seconds. Okay, then all you're going to do is wait for this to heat up. When my heat press is fully heated up, when this red button turns green, then what you want to do is taking your blank, we're gonna put that on right here. Then you're gonna take a piece of parchment paper and we're gonna lay this over the top of our blank. This right here is just gonna protect our heat press from getting damaged. And I had said earlier that it was 15 seconds. I double checked because I didn't think that that was high enough. It is definitely 400 degrees for 45 seconds for these canvas bags. Okay, now that it's heated up, my green light is on. All I'm gonna do is put this in and then press this button. One of my absolute favorite things about my heat press is that you're going to watch it when it counts down. You initially saw it when it closed, it auto closed, and then when it's done, it's going to pop up. Initially, I didn't think that this was actually really important, but now that I've used it for such a long time, I never burn anything and have any issues with like charring or anything because it automatically goes down and up for me. Okay, there is my blank. Slide this off. All right, then all you want to do, see how it kind of looks a little fuzzy before I rip off the rest of it. See how it kind of looks a little fuzzy? So I like the look of this specifically for this type of project. However, if you want them to be crisp, you would need to put your lines on a piece of paper and then put it on your blank so you don't have like fuzzy lines. However, again, I actually like the look of this. It looks a little bit more vintagey in my opinion, so I like that. But now let's take this off. Remember, we used our markers for this. And look at that. Whoop, have that back. So we used our markers for this and it's completely filled in. Now outside of like where I had to hand fill my marker, my letter in because my marker was going out, it ends up looking really good. Wow. Isn't that amazing? No more handwriting your fonts in. I love it. All right, y'all. I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you later.